Hey everybody, this is John with TPF, Trips, Places, and Fun here at our Branson home base, and there is a massive winter storm going on right now. I barely made it home. All right, so I know a lot of you all like to stay up to date on what is going on in Branson, and man, I'm telling you what, it is incredible. I got some shots, some video that I'm going to show you, but it's amazing out there. And we started the day with just a slight dusting, and that's what we thought we were going to have, but it just kept snowing and snowing. So I went in to work at Escape Code, and that's where Amy was, and she was running some games there and determining whether we should close or not. I did some work there, and then when we left, it just exploded, and the snow was coming down like crazy. It was beautiful. It was amazing. And outside my back door, in my backyard here at home, I got some video of that as well. Super beautiful. And we're here in the Ozarks, of course, where it's just as pretty as can be. And so I'm wondering, am I going to be able to make it home? Now, I got some cool video here I'm going to show you in just a moment of, there were some, unfortunately, some wrecks. I don't think there were any injuries. Just based on what we were seeing. I think just, how it is, people just sliding off. And here in the Ozarks, in Branson, these hills are very difficult to navigate. I almost didn't make it home, like for real, almost didn't make it home. And but let me throw this out there at you. I know a lot of you people, I read on the groups, on the Facebook groups, and people are asking sometimes, should I come to Branson? I hear that, should I move to Branson? We'll never be able to drive anywhere because it snows all the time. It doesn't. It's very, very rare for something like what's happening today to happen here in Branson. Last year there was a ice storm, and I couldn't move even a mile or two an hour, and I was sliding off the road, and I got stuck there on the shoulder for a while until I kind of creeped my way into Branson. But so this is not common. It's not normal. We can get around almost everywhere all the time. But today is an unusual kind of a happening here in Branson. So I left Escape Code, and Amy is actually sleeping the night. She's staying the night there at work. They're going to close early, and she just in case, she brought her some microwave dinners, and so she has those there, and she's going to sleep there. Now we have escape rooms. And so we've got some beds in our 90-minute experience called Secret Passage, because it's a hotel is kind of the setting. And so she has a bed that she's going to be able to sleep on, so she's going to do just fine. But so she's staying there. I decided, of course, I had to come home. And the moment I got out on the road, I called Amy, and I'm like, you either better come home now with me or kind of figure out, plan B. And because it was slick. And so there we are coming down a steep hill here in Branson, and I start sliding, and I'm coming to a red light, and I'm sliding. Y'all know what that feels like. And it's like, oh no, there's no cars in front of me, which was good. And I just stopped short of the light. Called Amy again. I said, this is not going to work. You are probably going to need to stay there tonight. I'll let you know more when I get home. And so I kept driving really slow and stopped to get gas on the way, which I'm thankful that I did because I was on empty. And then I went on 76 going west toward where we live, toward the Silver Dollar City area. And wow, you talk about, we were going super slow. And then there's a car that went off the road on the right. I stopped to make sure that he was okay, make sure that he had a phone and all of that, and he was cool. And then we went up just a little further, and all of a sudden everything stopped. All the traffic stopped. And cars up ahead had their hazards on, and we'll come to find out there were like multiple cars that had wrecked as they went around that corner down and around in front of us, and they wrecked. And so the volunteer fire department folks came out, and they're talking to us, and they're doing all that they can, and the sheriff and police and all those people. And so we just waited there, and like I said, thank God I got gas, because I didn't know how long we were going to be stranded there, and I didn't want to run out of gas. But we waited there we were probably there good, 45 minutes or so, just sitting there doing nothing. People were getting out of their cars, walking around, and trying to check out what was going on. And then finally they started letting us go very slowly. And when we got down to the curve, which was extremely slick, which was where all the wrecks were happening, they were letting us go one car at a time. And so we got to go, and we'd have to very slowly, like 5 miles an hour or so, 6, 7, 8, 9 miles an hour, go down this icy hill and around the curve. And we got down to the bottom. Over on the left-hand side, there were cars off in the ditch, and the police and fire and different folks were there. And so we conquered that. And I'm like, all right, that was crazy and should be okay. Well, then we get to our community where we live, and there's a really steep hill where we're going down, and I'm going less than 10 miles an hour going down this curve and down and around, and slipped and slid a few times, and finally got, made our turns and going real slow. Well, then we got to our actual road that leads to our house, and it was not plowed. And so I started going up the hill, and then I stopped. And so I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna make it home. And so I had to back all the way down this hill, and then I turned off. You know how cars, what's it called? EDS, EBS, something like that, where it won't let your tires spin. It's a safety feature. Well, I had to click that button to turn that off, so I could basically spin my way all the way up the hill, and just slowly, I crept up the hill, got to the top, but it was a bunch of this, so I had to keep doing that, and I had to go very slow going down, and going around the curves, and finally got home. And so that's what's going on in Branson Mo today. Crazy times. Hey, guess what? We've got some cool changes that are coming to the channel. We're talking about, Amy and I are talking about ways that we can keep building and developing and growing. And we know that here in Branson, we really do have a limited audience. It's the best audience. And we're going to keep doing Branson stuff for sure, because we just love it. And we live here, and we love Silver Dollar City. And we're going to keep going out there. But we're going to expand, and we'll talk more about that later. But we're really going to start talking about trips and travel news and vacation news and cruise news and different things like that are going to be more generally interesting to people all over the nation and maybe all over the world. So that's coming. Hey, if you have any comments or thoughts, about that, what would you like to see in terms of vacation news, travel news, tips and tricks and that kind of stuff? And what would we're going to do a lot here from the studio. But of course, we'll keep getting out, and whenever we're out and about, we'll take the cameras with us and do like we always have been doing. All right. Hey, you guys are the best. This is why we do it. This is why we do this. I came rushing. Well, I didn't rush home. I slowly crept home, and the first thing I did was come down here and make a video for you guys, because you are amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. So I guess it's just me and the kids tonight. Amy is on her own at Escape Code, sleeping in one of the escape rooms tonight, and but all is well in the Burton family. All right. Talk to you again and very soon, and safe travels, everybody.